Claus is in the house. I have not seen Keith Smith this morning. I think Keith is playing hooky, or he got beat up and bullied by Kris Kringle and kicked to the gutter in Charlottesville. Keith, are you okay? Keith, where are you? In his place is a gentleman that needs no introduction, Kris Kringle himself, fresh from the North Pole. Old St. Nick, Santa Claus, is in the studio. Also, we have Frosty the Snowman here with a delicious, how would you characterize that nose there? Carrot? Is that a carrot? Is that what Frosty has?
Carroty.
Carrot. Buddy the Elf is here in spirit, and one of Santa's primary elves is here as well. This is the Friday edition of the show where spirits will be had, stories will be told, and predictions for 2024 for all. Give the show a like and a share anywhere you are watching, and join us with a beverage or cocktail in your hand as we start the holiday festivities here on Real Talk with Santa Claus. Frosty,
Santa Claus.
the Snowman, we are ready to rock and roll when you are ready.
Quiet on the set.
Good Friday morning. Thank you kindly for joining us on Real Talk with Santa Claus. My name is, what's Santa Claus's primary elf? Can you help me, Frosty?
Jerry.
What's Santa Claus's primary elf? Thank you kindly for joining us on Real Talk with Kris Kringle. This show airs anywhere you get your podcasting and social media content, and it's the Friday before Christmas. We're going to celebrate with some predictions for 2024. We'll have some spirits, we'll tell some stories, and we will revel with you, the viewer and listener. We welcome your comments and encourage you to shape the discussion as we sit back, kick back, and relax on the Friday edition of Real Talk with Kris Kringle, just a couple of days removed from Christmas. Judah's got a comment, or excuse me, Frosty the Snowman's got some comment. Before we do, I think we should probably go to the three-shot, Frosty, so they can hear you and see you. And look at Kris Kringle looking quite festive today. Hello, Kris.
Hello. So we're going to call you Elf Jerry today.
Elf Jerry today.
Elf Jerry. That happens to be my favorite elf for Real Talk with Santa Claus and Keith Smith. Happy holidays, everybody. Merry Christmas. This is the show that you get an opportunity to ask Santa Claus your burning real estate questions, because Santa Claus will fill in for Keith today. And if you should happen to forget to give me your list, I'll take your list today. We have to find out if you've been good humans or not, right? If you've been good girls, good boys, bad boys. But we're going to get on the list. But this is the show to go ahead and ask Santa Claus a question. Type them in there, and Elf Jerry will ask them. But I think
Martha Claus is watching on LinkedIn, and she says, Merry Christmas to all.
Thank you. So
Johnny Ornelas says, morning, gentlemen. We love seeing Mexicali and how much progress you've made this week on West Main Street. Johnny Ornelas, thank you kindly for joining us on the show. Sherry Wilcombe gives you some props. Kris Kringle.
Thank
Bill
you.
McChesney. Vanessa Parkhill. To all, a good morning, and soon to be a good night. But before we get to the evening, it looks like Kris Kringle is cracking a bottle of rum, which Keith, not Santa, but Keith won in a bet with Jerry the Elf.
So I think I'm going to crack it open a little bit. This is really, really good stuff.
It came in a box, and it was on the top shelf.
It came in a box under the top shelf, and it's a cork, and it's not a screw. So that kind of gives you a good idea. Yeah, this is very good. This is made in Dominican Republic. It's excellent. So,
I learned something about rum. Not a lot of rum sold in America that is sipping rum.
No, well, rum in the Caribbean is, why don't you slide your glass over here?
Okay, I'm going to slide it to you here like we are in a Western bar. Watch out for that computer. Don't break this glass. Here we go. That was a textbook slide.
Damn, that was good.
Textbook slide. Now, I don't think you should slide it back, Keith, or Kris Kringle. No, Kris. Kris, I don't think that's a good idea. Oh, you just dropped the cork there, Kris. I'll come over happily if you want to put the other cameras on to pick that up from Kris.
And we need a glass for Frosty.
I gave a glass to
Frosty,
over there.
Frosty.
Frosty has a glass.
If Frosty drinks alcohol, does that impact his
Does Frosty melt?
Frostiness?
It looks like you have the wrong lower third on there.
I get a little slushy.
It should be
You
Santa
get a little
Claus.
slushy?
Slushy.
Slushy.
The lower third on screen there should be Santa Claus.
Yeah, I know. We need to change the.
Fresh from the North Pole there, Frosty the Snowman.
Well,
We literally have no script for today's show, as you can tell.
Look,
And we
totally
are enjoying
no script.
rum at 10:20 in the
well
morning.
hold
here.
it. Did we ever have a script?
I mean, no, we don't.
No,
we don't have
we
a
don't.
script. We
Hey.
do not have a script.
Happy Christmas,
Salud,
2023,
Frosty.
Frosty. My Santa's new saying for the rest of the year: can't wait for 2024. So
Can't wait for 2024.
Here's
Salud.
2024.
Cheers. Prost.
Cheers.
That's
Santa
Strovia.
Claus is going to cheat a little bit.
There you go. Santa Claus seems to have a mustache under that beard.
Looks a lot like Keith.
Delicioso.
Now, isn't that nice?
Ginny Who, welcome to the broadcast. It's very nice.
Isn't that nice? Now, those who drink rum.
Is that mic in a good place there, Frosty, for Chris Kringle?
Oh God! You want me to bring it up a little bit?
That's Frosty's call. Frosty's replaced Judah, the director and producer.
So anyway,
Although Frosty has a similar beard. to
before Santa gets into a couple more sips, let's ask a couple of questions of Santa Claus about real estate, or get their Christmas list out. But today's just to have fun and enjoy each other's company, and and end up 2023, which from a real estate perspective was a challenging year.
Juan
right?
Sarmiento says, Feliz Navidad. Juan Sarmiento, we love and appreciate you. Thank you kindly for watching the show. Sherry Wilcombe, welcome to the broadcast. Thank you kindly for watching the program. A number of Keith Smith's real estate colleagues are watching the program.
Oh, what do they got to say about Santa Claus?
What do you like to say about 2024, Keith Smith's
You know
real
what?
estate colleagues?
2024 is going to be a good year for the real estate world. We're watching interest rates slip back a little bit, back into more reality. But this is the year.
Your daughter is, Keith Smith's daughter is cracking me up. Welcome back to Richmond, Ravon. She says, I will not get over the fact that the grumpiest elf ever growing up is now dressed up as Santa Claus. She also says, I motioned to rephrase from good girl, good boy to did you leave 2023 better than you found it?
Ooh.
She also said you can't use the word but anymore.
And no, she explained it to Keith, right? I understand now the difference between but and end. She explained it to Keith.
She said, I can
Keith
only hear
understands.
so many good girls out of my father.
Yeah.
I like her.
Yeah,
I think she's cool.
Yeah, she's good. Well, we're going to bring her, Santa or Keith is going to bring her on the show here in the beginning of next year. But right now she's been out visiting family out west and so forth and so on. But yeah, did you leave the world? That's really a great question, right? Did you leave the world a better place in 2023 than when you started in it? That's just a great question. She's a unique individual. If Keith Smith can grow up and become half the person she is, I'll be doing something in my life. She's a great person to come in there. But she's always keeping me straight, keeping my language straight, or Keith Smith's language straight. But to the point on that she's trying to make is I have been traditionally a bit of a bah humbug.
Why?
Around the holidays.
Holidays are the best time of year.
You know what? Santa had a conversation with Keith. I'm going to be schizophrenic today.
Okay.
Santa Claus had a conversation with Keith Smith. The true meaning of Christmas has kind of got lost when stuff in Costco, Christmas stuff in Costco comes out in August. It just really kind of gets a little bit. But this is a fun time of the year.
Best time of the year.
Yeah, we love it. But 2024 is going to be, if you're in the real estate space or out looking to buy and sell, always now's a good time to buy a home. Keith believes this, Santa believes it. Interest rates are starting to stabilize. And Santa Claus has sweat rolling into his eyes, so he's going to have to roll it down because between the hat and the thing and the lights, it's rolling down.
Bill McChesney, the mayor of McIntyre, I want a Class C motorhome with a Freightliner diesel powertrain, a Can-Am Spider 3 wheel motorcycle, and a German Shepherd puppy. Thanks, Santa. I want a trailer to pull the motorcycle behind. Merry Christmas, you all. Holly Foster and Henrico, I like Frosty's nose. Can we put Frosty back on screen? I will miss the 12:30 p.m. show live today, but will watch later this afternoon. I hope all you enjoy your holidays with your families. We'll be watching in January from the Boar Set. May see you over there, Holly. We certainly appreciate you, Queen of Henrico.
Here's an interesting Christmas factoid.
Oh, please.
There are 6 traditional Christmas elves. Do
Okay.
you want to pick one of their names? We've got
6 traditional Christmas elves.
Is one of them named Jerry?
Alabaster
Jerry?
Snowball,
Alabaster Snowball. I don't even
Alabaster
think that'll fit
Snowball.
on this lower third. What are the other ones?
Bushy Evergreen,
Oh.
Pepper Minsticks,
Was it?
Pepper Minsticks,
Okay.
Shinny Up a Tree,
Oh, Shinny Up a Tree.
I like that one.
Sugar Plum Mary,
Oh, I think that's me.
and
Sugar Plum Mary?
Yeah.
One Horse Open Sleigh.
Oh, I want to be Sugar Plum Mary.
Okay.
Sugar Plum Mary.
Donna Patton
How
says,
about
we
sugar-
saw you. We
how
saw that,
about-
Santa. Donna Patton said,
What?
I think you were hitting the rum.
I was, yeah.
He's hitting the rum.
I thought,
Santa's hitting the rum.
I thought maybe we might have been on a one shot at that point. I was wrong.
She also says that not only a grouchy around the holidays, which she was highlighting what your daughter said, but a procrastinator.
Yeah, so she is.
You and Judah have that in common.
Yeah, no. So she is needling a little bit Keith Smith, because Keith Smith has to renew his license by January 31st. So I
Oh.
have to take my 16. Keith has to take his 16 hours. So literally, I'm getting texts live.
You got to renew, is that your associate brokers?
No. Just a regular license, real estate license. Every 2 years, you got to put in. But hey, Donna, I got 30 some odd days to go yet. I'm good.
There you go. Sugar Plum Mary, Frosty the Snowman, and Santa Claus. Bring some by the office. I think she's alluding to the rum.
I think we'll call you Sugar Plum Jerry.
Oh, well, you can call me anything you want. Just
Sugar-
don't call me late to dinner.
There you go. Yeah, so we've got was it a Class C? Class C
Oh,
motorhome?
yes. A Class C.
Yeah,
And a Spider.
That's one of those Sprinter vans.
Okay.
Sprinter vans. Yeah, I like it. Throw a 24-foot center console fishing boat in that, and we're in.
Viewers and listeners, what do you want for Christmas? Put them live in the feed. Here's a fantastic one. It looks like the interest rates are going to drop again with inflation coming in cool. What does Santa Claus predicts going to happen in the first 6 months of 2024?
Yeah, so I think Santa Claus is going to predict what's going to happen. Is I think everybody's been talking about this. 5%, 5.5%. 5.6. I think we're going to end up heading somewhere in the first 6 months, particularly if this inflation keeps on dropping the way that it's doing, is that we're going to probably be in the upper 5s. But, back to what we've been talking about all along, it's just a lack of inventory. It's an interesting thing. You could take a look at, I think what's going to happen for those out there that, not to be a little bit of a Debbie Downer on the 20, what's today, the 21st? 22nd.
Today is the 22nd, my friend.
22nd. The 22nd. Right now, credit score is going to matter more about better credit, about better mortgage rates. There's about a 0.5 point to a 3/4 point difference between the 760 and a much lower interest rates. So if you credit score's a little wonky, you should be working on your credit score. That would be a great wish for Santa Claus, is how do I go ahead and work on cleaning up my credit score?
Oh, you got some advice for the viewers and listeners?
Yeah.
Please, Chris Kringle.
Yeah, use cash instead of credit cards to buy gifts.
Okay.
Yeah,
or
but
if you're going to use the credit cards, pay them off.
pay them off. That's it. But reach out to a trusted advisor,
Okay.
loan officer,
There you
real
go.
estate agent.
There you go.
And sit down and talk to them and what they can do to clean it up. But there is about a 0.5 to 3/4 of a point difference, just based on a really, really good credit score and just an entry-level credit score. So that makes
You call it half? What is it?
It's between a half and 3/4 of a point,
That's
depending.
a substantial amount.
It is, and it's. I was actually, Santa Claus is going to gift to Elf Jerry.
Oh.
Their unless you already have it. You have a HouseWire account.
A Housewire. I do not have a
Yeah,
Housewire.
so I'm going to gift you
Please.
a HouseWire account. 'Cause-
Explain that to the viewers and
so
listeners.
that's like an Inman.
Absolutely.
All this kind of great stuff.
Great
And-
real estate content.
And they have a live tracking on all the mortgage rates.
Yeah.
And if you click different sections of it, you could say, look, if my credit score is so much in this,
Very nice.
it gives you what it is. And it's about, I looked at it this morning. Santa Claus looked at it this morning. It's about a 0.5 point to 3/4 of a point.
What were they checking in at?
Oh, you would have to ask that. But hold on a second. I took a picture of it.
Viewers and listeners, let us know your thoughts. Put them in the feed. We'll relay it live on air. Spencer Pushard, welcome to the broadcast.
Hold on a second.
Thank you kindly for joining us. Let's highlight the fact that we have Thomas Group watching the program. Thank you kindly for joining us. A lot of people are asking to see Frosty again. They like what Frosty's looking like right now on screen.
Frosty's bringing the...
Stephanie Wells Rhodes, good morning. How are you? Merry Christmas, Stephanie. There's Frosty. Frosty, do you have any comments for your fans? Frosty's beloved.
You know...
Yvonne is saying, where in Virginia do you think is going to be the next big hotspot next year? I would say Charlottesville or Albemarle County.
Well, we looked at that, right? We looked at the national averages versus the Charlottesville region, and yeah, I mean, we're going to be completely. Charlottesville is just not gonna go down a little bit. I'm trying to find out the mortgage rates for you here. Hang on one second.
No problem, Frosty. Folks are asking what you are doing for Christmas.
I'm going to be spending time with my family. My sisters are coming in. In fact, my youngest sister and my niece just flew into town last night.
Oh!
I haven't seen them yet, but they report everything on the family text chain. So I had a minute-by-minute report of the plane coming in and my sister getting picked up at the airport.
By an Uber.
In Richmond, I think. No, by my parents.
Knowing Frosty's best friend, Judah Wickower, he was very much enthused by the minute-by-minute updates on the family text chain.
Trey exciting.
Trey exciting?
Yes.
So how did everybody get along before group family texts?
I think quite well, depending on the group family text.
Probably better.
I know.
It's like, why do I have to hear from these people every
on every update?
Yeah.
Oh man, that does make us sound like a bit of a Grinch over there, but still. The mayor of McIntyre says no, that's a Sprinter. That a full box with a side extension and queen bed in the back is what he wants. That sounds absolutely amazing. He also says that Charlottesville is going up vertically, real estate prices and property taxes as well, no doubt. Charlottesville's going to get more expensive, not less expensive in 2024. And it looks like Chris Kringle's got mortgage rates to relay to everybody from his HouseWire account. Juan Sarmiento, we appreciate you very much as well, my friend. I have a feeling the Sugar Plum Mary, Frosty the Snowman, and Santa Claus are going to be turned into a meme account of some kind. Content for a meme account of some kind. Chris Kringle, jump in.
So if you have a 740 and above right now with a 30-year conforming, it's at 6.4. If you have a 680 and under, it's just a little over 7.
Okay.
So it's about a 0.5 point.
That's a difference.
It's about a 0.5 point. And,
And I will highlight to the viewers and listeners, you can improve that credit score fairly quickly by paying off your balances, using your credit card, paying it off, using your credit card, paying it off. Woody Fitchum says, take it off, Santa. Take it off, Santa. Let's see what you got. Santa. Why does Santa have a mustache under his beard?
What? Santa doesn't have a mustache. What are you talking about? I got a beard. So it's very interesting, and the amount of money that you put down is also impacting it more. If
you have 20% down, what are we looking at?
So if you have 20% down, that's the
20% down with the 740 or above.
What a 740 and above. I will tell you that in a second.
I mean, that's an ideal candidate right there.
That is an ideal. Well, that's who's going to be buying right now.
Yeah, right.
That's who's going to be buying.
Woody Fitchum says, I have everything that I could possibly want. My wife is healthy, my grandchildren are healthy, and my children are healthy. My business is doing well, and I have some great colleagues and friends. Merry Christmas to all of you guys, and I can't wait to see you on the other side of the year. Woody,
Merry Christmas.
You know what to say, Woody Fitchum. Let's do a cheers to Woody Fitchum.
Cheers to Woody. What a
cheers
good
to
human.
Woody. Woody, if you were here, you would be cheersing with us. We love you, homie. Sincerely mean that. Juan Sarmiento. And as you get that information, I'll relay Juan's comment. What is the prediction for real estate tax assessments for 2024 and beyond? if the personal property tax is repealed. We talked about that, Judah, off air yesterday. Glenn Youngkin is talking about eradicating or evaporating the personal property tax.
Yeah.
If the personal property tax
What's the likelihood of that passing, though?
What's that?
What's the likelihood of that passing?
I would say not likely.
Yeah, I would
But
agree.
let's spitball. If the personal property tax does go away, because Youngkin wants it to go away, I don't think that's going to happen. The real
Well,
estate
politically, that's expedient.
the real estate tax rate will go up. Remember, real estate assessments are tied to the market value of your house, but the tax rate with real estate is something the jurisdiction can control. It's not like they're going to just take less money to run
Right.
Charlottesville or Albemarle County. They'll find that additional money elsewhere.
Correct. So the question is where?
How? Real estate.
Or,
I mean, it's not going to be the lodging or sales or meals tax. I mean,
Well, it
there's only
depends-
so much incremental increase they can do.
it depends on the jurisdictions, too, right? So Fulvana County does not have a lot of meals tax, does not have a lot of lodging tax, so you're 100% right. It's going to end up going towards,
It's going to further expedite gentrification.
well, it's going to increase the tax burden on the housing, on the rooftops. To answer your question, with a 740 over 20% down, you are looking at hold on a second, a 6.4.
Okay, how about this? 740.
By the way, if you had a 680 score and you were putting 20%, it's 7.43.
That's a substantial difference.
Yeah, so you're about a half a point difference.
How about 740 and above and you put 25% down?
Yeah, so all I can tell you is 20% more or less. It doesn't. The program doesn't let me break it down.
I
into
saw
that
that
much
Bill
detail.
McChesney on Facebook Messenger. That's a good-looking vehicle. Jason Howard says this: with the new zoning, do you think this will change the existing Charlottesville population growth projections over the next 5 to 10 years? I do not.
5 to 10 years?
I do not. I think the
0 to 5, no. 5 to 10, it'll start changing, but very incrementally. It's not going to change in this huge percentage change. But the first 5 years, the first 5 years is going to be either tied up in lawsuits, trying to figure out how to implement it.
Can you change my elf name, Frosty? I would like you to change my elf name, Frosty, to Mary Giller. Mary Giller the elf, as we have some fun with our lower thirds today. Mary Giller the elf. Thank you very much. Does that, you know what I'm referencing there, Frosty?
I do.
I think Frosty got a little chuckle out of that. I like to have some fun over the holidays as well. Keith Smith, Santa Claus, jump in.
Santa Claus, where the hell? Oh, Keith Smith isn't here. Yeah, so it's the first 0 to 5 years. Look, they're going to figure it out. There's going to be tied up in lawsuits, and it's going to be a very slow roll down the hill to change the inventory. I don't see it impacting. Look, I mean, here's the reality of it is, and our friends in Albemarle County are not going to want to hear this, but Keith has said this many a times, and Santa will say it for him. The quickest and fastest way to impact housing affordability and inventory is for Albemarle County to reconsider expanding its 5% growth area. If it can,
That's not going to happen.
I understand that, but if it can do that, the other lowest hanging fruit is probably retweaking some of its commercial ordinances so it allows for residential. But it's just going to
That's
be.
Neil Williamson's suggestion, and I don't see that having much of an immediate impact at
It
all.
is not. It's going to be window dressing. It's going to look good.
Yeah.
It's going to give tools in the tool chest. But the bottom line is in order for prices to stabilize, you need more. Look, with these interest rates dropping, right? We're looking at, if you've got a 740 score and above and put over 20% down, depending, this is nationwide, right? You're somewhere in the low sixes, very low sixes.
And it's going to get lower.
And it's going to get lower.
That's getting pretty darn close to my delta right there for me to engage and make some moves.
So you're going to end up seeing, I think, somewhere in the first quarter, as long as everything is tracking the way it's been tracking, with some fives in front of it, with the right score, the right down payment.
There it is.
Right, and all that great stuff. And
Zillow said 5.5 is making people make moves.
yeah, but the reason why Santa brought up the credit score so much, it's only going to be a certain segment of the people that have this credit score that are going to be able to make these moves, I think. You know, it's not going to be across the board. All of a sudden, we hit 5.8% or 5.9%, and this is all going to come in. What's going to happen is the people that can afford it are going to do it, much like it was when it was 8%, right? The people that can afford it, afford to pay the down payment, to go ahead and buy down the points or bring enough cash to the table, are going to do it. You're going to start seeing cash, by the way, by the end of 2024, wean itself out, I think. That's going to be a prediction for Santa Claus.
Mary Giller, Chris Kringle, and Frosty the Snowman here on Real Talk with Chris Kringle. Todd Rath will get to your comments in a matter of moments.
Hey, Todd, how you doing?
Let's go to Woody. He appreciates the Mary Giller, lower third right there. Thank you, Woody Fitcham. Woody Fitcham also says the governor is being politically savvy right now. With the changeover in the legislature. I doubt seriously that it will pass, but he runs for president later on a fact that he can claim that he did everything he could to improve the tax situation in our state. If it goes away, you can bet that they are going to make up the taxes in another way. Bingo. If the property
You think
taxes,
he's going to throw his hat in the ring for 2024?
No.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to throw his hat in the ring for 2024. In fact, when he announced that the move of the Washington sports teams to Virginia, he was on CNBC, and he said he would support any of the Republicans that were on the ticket.
Regardless.
And he was even asked by Andrew Ross Sorkin on Squawk on the Street, or Squawk Box on CNBC, whether he would consider running for president. He said no. He was asked if he would support Trump. He doubled down and said anyone, Youngkin said, anyone on the Republican ticket he would support.
Yeah. Well,
Todd Rath has this, the King of Cider. Merry Christmas, guys. Thanks for the entertainment and collaborative knowledge in 2023. P.S. I'm not sure if you saw, but Nelson County raised our short-term rental lodging tax 2 points for your information.
Yeah.
I did see that.
Yeah, we did see that.
What do you make of that? Looking for some funds over there.
Yeah, they're going to look for some funds. You know, it's their sales are going down. Their values are going down a little bit. Like they're going to start looking for other places to make up their shortfalls. That's just kind of the way the game rolls.
Santa's phone is blown up over there.
My phone is blowing up at the moment.
Who's blown up?
It's Donna reminding me to take tests.
Donna Patton. Donna Patton is very good at her job. We
Donna,
love you, Donna Patton.
Donna's very good at her job and much better at keeping track of Keith Smith. What I wanted to do is Santa just took a look at Keith's Paragon to find out how many homes came on the market. This last week was 27, and I just wanted the curiosity go back and see at how many homes came in a week ago, the same week in 2022 or 2022. So, and that was 45. So the same show that we did this time last year, 45 homes came on, and only 27 came on this week. So we're in this kind of lull. Thank you for your smile. So maybe somebody's giving me a hard
Norris.
time.
Love Dave Norris.
Dave
Norris, wish you were here. We're enjoying a nice glass of top shelf rum.
Shelf.
Mary Giller and Chris Kringle and Frosty are. Are you on the 3-shot over there?
Yeah.
Cheers, gentlemen. Salud.
Cheers.
Astrovia Pros.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So
Dave
Mrs.
Norris says this: I want to know when we can expect to see Santa at the Charlottesville 5K in full Chris Kringle attire. Are Santa's 5K days over?
Santa's 5K days are over.
What was that again, Chris Kringle?
Yeah,
Can you say that three times fast, Chris
No,
Kringle?
I cannot. So this isn't the 151
What about the soon-to-be
version, is it?
annual Santa cycle?
That's it.
Ooh, Frosty.
So Santa Claus can't run any longer because of some things he has going on with his back from the time that he was in the Marine Corps. But he is on a bicycle. So Dave, I'll tell you what. If you get dressed up in a costume, I will get dressed up in a costume, And
Dave Norris is a man. Love Dave Norris.
I love Dave Norris. Dave Norris is one. You know, when you open up, and I mean this with all my heart and soul. If you open up a book and look for the definition of a mensch, you know what a mensch is? You know
yeah.
what a mensch is.
Tell him what a mensch is there, Frosty.
Tell him what a mensch is, Frosty.
That's a real man.
A mensch is a real human, not a man. It's a human. It's gender neutral.
You didn't say male, did you? We learned yesterday we can't say male or female
It
anymore.
means a good person.
Good person.
A
There you go.
mensch is a good human. And when you open that up, it's the picture of Dave Norris. He's a good human.
There
really
you go.
Good human.
Kevin Yancey, we love you. He says he'll bring us some Pappy Van Winkle next year.
Oh, cool.
Jason Howard says, per the growth area, expanding that is unpopular in Albemarle County. Ooh, I just lost the comment because they're coming in so quickly. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, well, it's totally...
Expanding is unpopular, but so is the revenue sharing agreement. How about a compromise that would have to involve the city? Double the growth area, but the revenue sharing agreement ends in 3 years, giving the city time to adjust its budget. Don't see that happening either.
No. Look, look. Just from a practical perspective, the reality of it is we need more inventory. More homes will help reduce this crisis of affordability. To be frank about it, or to be Santa about it. This affordability, and it's just not going to happen. I just read Santa's not a big fan of Nextdoor because it kind of gets a little wonky from time to time.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Woody wants to know what kind of rum that is. It is the toppest level shelf rum I could purchase. Jerry lost a bet to Chris Kringle, and this was the
Zacapa.
The top level rum that was available at the West Main Street ABC store.
It's aged for 23 years.
It's good sipping rum. I've learned
this is really good stuff.
I learned that rum in America is not really made for sipping. It's made for mixing.
No.
The rum section is very slim at the ABC store.
Yeah. So you somebody from the Cuba or from the South America, which is where rum would be the version of bourbon. If you were to go ahead and mix something with it, it's highly offensive to them. And it's something, and where Keith Smith goes down to the Caribbean and has dinner, they'll put a bottle like this on the table with a couple of shot glasses at the end of each meal. They just put it on the table. That's what they do.
Carly Wagner loves the costumes. Carly, we appreciate your support.
Thank you. Keith
Carly, if you were on set right now, what would your costume be, Carly Wagner? Why does Santa have a mustache under his beard?
because I'm tired of breathing in.
Why does Woody Fitcham? Because Bacardi owns the market and college kids. That's the ABC agent literally said it's either Captain Morgan's or because I know nothing about rum. I'm a bourbon or Scotch guy. I know nothing about rum.
Gesundheit.
Yo!
Gesundheit.
Excuse me.
Gesundheit.
Oh man. Mary Jiller's
Gesundheit.
Little fuzz from his hat came in his nose there.
Gesundheit.
Mary Jiller's got a big hat and a big nose over here. Go ahead over there. Talk to me over there, Chris.
You got a Roman nose.
So does your mother. I kid because I care. And Mrs. Smith, I got nothing but love for you. I got Chris Kringle laughing over there.
Yeah.
Looks like Chris Kringle needs another little splash in the glass.
Keith Smith is taking his mother and his father out to go see Ray Cadell and Elvis today at the Paramount.
Carly would be Mary Claus.
Mary Claus.
You wear the costume well, Carly. I know you would.
There you go. Yeah, so it's the back on the rum end of stuff. It's a very they take it really seriously. It's for sipping only. That doesn't mean you can't get a rum and coke, but you would never ever mix this with. That's like taking. What's your best bourbon that you like to drink?
Oh wow.
Like a Booker's or something like that?
No, I like to go. I mean, the Ragged Branch we just had was fantastic.
Okay. Would you mix that with Coke?
No, I don't. I don't mix. And no shade either way. I'm not a mixer of liquor anymore. Yeah. It's neat or on the rocks, and it's generally neat.
You used to mix it when we were younger because you wanted to get to to the end as fast as
Well, you
as
mixed it when
possible.
you were younger because the palate wasn't there for what you were appreciating,
There you go.
and
There you go.
or it was the
Age is
bottom level.
It's amazing.
Bottom shelf that you were drinking.
It's amazing. It's amazing how age does that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
In case anybody were interested, there's only 2 open houses this weekend.
There's 2 open
Who
houses.
the hell has an open house on Christmas?
Someone
Let's
that
see.
needs to sell their house.
No, it's fine. I bet you the new construction.
I'm sure it's new construction. I mean, you said there's a lot of incentives for new construction right now.
No, they're not actually. No.
It's existing. Olivia Branch, welcome to the broadcast.
One in Wintergreen, both in Wintergreen actually.
Okay, it sounds like someone who's eager to sell their house.
Yeah.
Would you not say, Chris?
Santa Claus is going to be busy. He won't show up.
Your daughter says, share your favorite holiday traditions. And she also says, put a little splash in that glass, Chris.
She didn't say that.
Yeah.
No, she
She said, share your favorite holiday traditions.
but nothing about the splash.
Highs and lows of the year. Mary Giller may have encouraged that.
Are you good?
I'm going to have some in a little bit. Frosty, are you good? Oh, Frosty's never
Frosty's
said.
empty.
Frosty's never said no. I know Frosty.
But I've never, ever had Frosty say no.
Frosty does not say no when it comes to a splash in the glass. This was a bottle that was purchased by Jerry Miller, not Mary Giller. You want? I'll take. If you're pouring, I'll take a splash.
Oh, that was a close one.
That was close. I'm glad you let it get right to the edge before.
No, I
Hey,
want-
don't slide it back. Well, that's a hefty.
I'm not sliding it back. I was trying to see it, just see how close it would get. Gentlemen, thank you for 2023.
Prost, salud. Nastrovia. Merry Christmas to the
Merry
viewers and
Christmas.
listeners.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
The plan for today is a lot of fun.
Can't wait for
2024.
2024.
What are the highs and lows? Your cheers. You're supposed to look at everybody in the eyes. You know what happens if you don't look at someone in the eye?
Who told you that?
You know what happens when you don't look at somebody in
Go
the
ahead.
eye?
I know what happened.
Go ahead and say it. What do you want to say?
You got to buy everybody around.
Oh, that's different than what I've heard.
Keith learned that the first time he was in a bar in Germany when he bought.
I guess you can say whatever you want in that circumstance.
You can say whatever you want.
Yeah.
So so my highest and lows.
Yes. Highs and lows. Dan Pettit. Good morning. Mustache Dan Pettit. Good morning.
I have to, to be. This may sound really corny. I don't have a low.
Oh wow, I like that.
Yeah,
Good for you.
I don't. Maybe some days are better than others, but I don't have a low. I will tell you what my high was. This is what Keith told Santa, right? Got to keep this whole schizophrenic thing going. What Keith told Santa. There's 2 weeks we spent with the kids.
Oh yeah, and Saint Martin.
That was awesome, right? And it was awesome. And Keith did a post on all his favorite photos from this year. So my high was getting to spend time with my family and my grandkids. I don't really have a bad day. I don't. Some days are better than others. Some days I'm grumpier than others. But I can't tell you what my low was.
Carly Wagner says maybe with those open houses, they were hoping it's a Santa baby type of purchase, slip a house under the tree for me type deal.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
2 open houses over the Christmas weekend in Nelson County in the Wintergreen Market right there.
Yeah, if I had a moment, I'd take a look at it and figure out what the days on market. Look at you! You're going crazy.
I would
over there.
imagine there's a lot of comments. I would imagine it's a little long in the tooth on those two.
It could be. I could take a look at it. So, what was your highest and lowest?
Hi, our youngest was born about a year ago,
Yep.
and he's brought tremendous joy to our family. He's brought tremendous laughter.
When's his birthday?
The 27th of November.
Ooh.
He's on the cusp of walking. He
Yep.
says "Dada," which melts my heart. He is a bam bam of a baby,
Oh.
rough and tumble, knows one speed like his father, which is go 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 go.
Or go to sleep.
He's been fantastic. Like any newborn, now he's 1. I don't think when you hit the 1-year marker you're a newborn anymore. But like any baby, he's also brought challenges with sleep. He's perpetually, or someone in the family is perpetually sick, always sick, such is the nature of having a child and a kindergartner in your household. But it's been great, man. It's brought our family closer together.
There's a number 3 coming?
There is no number 3. There will be no number 3. I don't want to speak for my wife, but in this particular circumstance, I can speak for my wife. There will be no number 3. There will be no number 3. Judah Frosty, show is yours. You jump in here on this.
What's your highest and lowest, sir?
I'm going to say they're closely related. My high was getting to go see my my great aunt Leona for the first time in probably over 10 years, and the low was the fact that she passed about a week after we went and saw her. So
Good
it
for
was
you.
a blessing to be able to see her one last time.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Right? Good for you, man.
Frosty, you are melting hearts everywhere.
So you know what all our highs were?
What's that?
Not business related,
Amen.
right? Think
Well,
about
no,
that.
I
It was
think,
our family.
yeah.
That's what matters, right? And you know, even though we're all business people, and
Carly says with 3, it's a big switch from man-to-man to zone defense. There you go. And our 5.5-year-old is not at the point where he's doing much man-to-man defense. He's still needing a lot of coaching attention, if you may, with the basketball metaphor. Our 5.5-year-old is quite mischievous and knows one speed as well, and that's go, 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 go.
Santa Claus will add
I
some.
feel for my wife. I really do.
Santa Claus will add something here. It's going to be very hard to comprehend this at this moment, but before you know it, they're going to be in their 30s, living in New York City, and going, "Hey, Daddy, want to see my new tattoo?" Now that's ever happened to me, but that's before you know it.
Is it different when you have sons versus daughters?
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's just
Yeah?
it's the same thing, only different. That's all.
Dan Pettit said, I've learned the most when I'm in the valley versus on the top of the mountain. So he's saying he's learned the most in hardship versus in times of success.
Yeah.
Dan Pettit, getting deep. I love that, Dan Pettit.
Yeah. Wow. So what valleys did we have this year? What valley did you have this year?
What valleys did I have? You know what? 2023, in retrospect, was a fantastic year. Business hummed. Families doing great. The final 2 quarters of 2023 were significantly successful.
Good.
I mean, it's humming. I mean, one of the positives of being an entrepreneur and the shot caller or the visionary of the business is you can direct the direction the business is going, and we're going in spaces that are not very competitive and spaces that I think are primed to boom. So I reflect on it and feel thankful.
Mistakes are a wonderful thing, right? You make them, you learn from them, and you move on. If you dwell on them, it's never a good thing. You always take a little bit of lesson from that and move on. And Keith for sure, can't speak for Santa, but Keith for sure has made all kinds of mistakes, and you learn from these mistakes and you move on, and you try to be a better human and a better at what you do every day. But you're 100% right. This has just been a unique year. 2022 was a little bit too good. Right?
2022, in the words of Mrs. Claus, even turkeys could fly in the wind.
Even turkeys could fly in the wind. You just got to throw them a little
Especially in real estate.
Actually, it was a hurricane. But if you throw them high enough in the air at 200 miles an hour, they will go ahead and fly. But look, at this point in time, if you're in the real estate space, this is when you need to start working on your skills. And those who've got skills are going to do well. It's just like basketball.
Dan Pettit, Joe and I will be on a plane on Christmas Day headed to La Jolla, California to visit the oldest son. That's a great high for us, really high in the air. Travis Hackworth in Danville. Merry Christmas to all from Danville. Hope you all have a blessed new year and have a safe and enjoyable time with your family and friends. Travis Hackworth, cheers.
Cheers. And tell us what's going on in Danville. Exciting. We have
Lee Vogler running for state senate.
Ooh.
He's come on the I Love Seville show. I think he's a very electable individual, Travis Hackworth. I think you do as well. Vanessa Parkhill says, I would not be in favor of placing a higher tax burden on real estate, nor would I. I don't think...
But where are they going to get it from?
You're saying if personal property taxes are eradicated like Youngkin wants. I
The,
don't think that's gonna happen.
the reality of it is it's probably not going to happen.
That's window dressing.
But, look, they're either going to cut their budgets.
Window dressing, just like the upzoning is window dressing, with,
Well,
with breeding affordability. The upzoning is not going to breed affordability. We know it's not.
Not for a long time.
I mean, with what they're requiring of developers from the affordability requirement,
But that, look, I think you're going to see that.
that's going to have to be backtracked
That's exactly right.
once they realize that we've
And the interesting,
pigeonholed developers.
well, it's just.
This is what happens when you listen to activists and government officials as opposed to those that are actually in the trenches doing the work. You agree with that, Santa?
That's historically the case, right? Right.
Right.
It doesn't go, but it'll happen. The market will adjust itself, right? The market will figure out how to adapt with this. But eventually, they're going to have to tweak this. It's exactly what happened in Portland and Seattle, right? They did it for a couple of years. They realized it didn't work. They went ahead and changed it, which, oh, by the way, if they change it, that's what's called a ZTA, zoning text amendment. And what does that require?
Going through the entire rigmarole
That's
again.
exactly right.
Advertising.
That's exactly right.
Public comment.
That's
months,
exactly
if
right.
not years. Votes. Planning
I
commission.
don't know about years, but yeah.
The rigmarole.
It has to go through the whole particular public process.
Yeah. And let's cut to the chase. We already know of lawsuits that are percolating right now.
Yeah. We're going to be a little flat for 5 years. There'll be a couple of small projects that happen. And, Keith and Jerry were talking about this, today's Friday, right? On Wednesday. Keith's going to work on during the Christmas break.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait to see that.
No. I've already, not I.
Keith has, your buddy.
He,
Your buddy.
my schizophrenic friend, has started on that already. And you'll be very surprised what the numbers are going to be.
Is it,
actually, I take that back. You will not be surprised.
The conversion of the garage to an apartment,
We're going to pick the lowest hanging fruit,
which is the garage conversion
which is
into
the
housing.
garage conversion.
I'm saying it's flirting. I'm saying it's 150 or above. 150,000 or above.
You might be a little low.
Really?
Yeah.
It's over 200K?
I think so. Yeah.
It's over 200. Did you hear that?
Well, we're not there. Don't. Let's not the cat out of the bag.
Well, I
here
mean, we
yet.
can tease the cat.
We can tease the cat.
To convert a garage into an apartment, which is the easiest, most low-hanging fruit in the upzoning to create more
lot of
supply,
it-
which stabilizes prices. He's saying it's 2 bills plus, and I'm not talking 200.
So we got to roll in the soft cost into that, which
TZO.
which is your.
Come on, Santa.
I could do it. I could
got
do
this,
it.
Santa.
I could do it. I could
Clear
do
that
it.
head.
It's a
I
chest
know.
that we're trying to clear.
I know.
This is a little difficult for Santa Claus right now.
Santa's doing a damn good job. Oh, sorry, a darn good job. Because
Bonds, the
I'm Mary
bonds.
Jiller. Oh, Judah wants to talk. Frosty wants to talk bonds.
No. I'm just talking about you're going to have to post bonds because you're going to have to make connections and so forth and so on into the utilities. And we won't talk about the fact that the land trust hasn't got its bond back yet.
Frosty can talk about bonds.
Ooh.
Can I?
Bonds,
Oh, yeah.
right, Frosty?
Yeah.
I'm giving you a softball here, Frosty.
You're talking about that guy Judah's dad?
Frosty's good buddy Judah and his father.
Yeah, well.
Has he gotten his bonds back
I think
yet?
everybody knows who we are at this point.
That's Frosty's beard looks. First off, why does Frosty have a beard? Secondly, Frosty's beard looks just like Judah's beard.
Well.
Has Frosty's good buddy Judah's dad gotten the bond money back?
You know how much that bike costs in that
I don't
picture
know.
right there?
I don't know if they ever did.
You hear that? Didn't even get the bond money back.
Yeah. Well, we're working on getting the land trust bond back.
Why is it so difficult to get the bond money back?
You don't want to know.
No, I'd love to know.
So would I.
Yeah, so would Frosty's best friend Judah's father.
So Keith
Yes.
had a meeting with the new executive director for the land trust.
Okay.
And that was on the top of our list, or their list,
Getting our money back.
to get the money back.
Yeah. And what was determined?
The determined is we got a list back from the city that was the same list we got back in 2021. which was completed in 2021.
Stop it.
Which means we now need to go dig up all the documents and resubmit them and have a face-to-face conversation.
Do the same thing twice?
Oh, no, that's about the 8th time.
Really?
It's just the way it is.
How is that not lawsuit?
It's just the way it is. It is.
So they expect average Joes and average Sallys to do this
That's the problem.
without the sophistication of
That's the problem. So they
Keith
don't.
and the Land Trust?
That's exactly right. Well,
That ain't gonna happen.
Yeah. Or you get Keith like people like Anthony Woodward and all that stuff that knows how to navigate the system.
Yeah.
It requires special knowledge to navigate this particular system, and it is super difficult to go and do that. Now, they could potentially hire a third party to go ahead and process all of this, but that's not going to happen. But yeah, this is part of the game. It's so not only that $200,000, you got to keep in mind in that $200,000, there's a substantial amount of that is going to be bond money that has to be posted, that you have to write a check for, have to put into their account, make all the connections.
No one's going to do this.
You got to connect. You got to get the utilities department to agree with the planning department, to agree with the building department, to agree with the zoning department, to go ahead and release that. And if there's a little bit of a problem, they give you a new list, you get another 45. It is just this repetitive thing that goes around and around and around and around.
Kevin Higgins in Greenwood, Virginia. The first thing created on the pencil was the eraser. Mistakes are a great thing. I wish you guys the best 2024 and want to thank you for keeping us connected every day.
Thank you.
What you do takes significant effort, and we all appreciate you. I think your network is going to explode next year. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank
we have
you,
a new
thank you.
show starting in January that's geared toward the female population that I think is going to be
I'm excited about that.
extremely successful. And we have an additional show. Frosty is just hearing about this for the first time. It was a meeting this morning. So not only the show that's new that you know of, that's going to happen in January, but an additional one on top of that, it's going to launch as well.
Yay.
Details to come. Santa.
And that one is going to focus on?
I am going to let them
Got it.
make the announcement. But the show that's going to happen in January is going to be a female-led and hosted show that's going to spotlight and champion female entrepreneurs, female movers and shakers. Actually, I
Unbelievable.
can't say female. Woman entrepreneurs, woman movers and shakers, woman-led nonprofits, woman politicians. How do I say? Female politicians rolls off the tongue better than woman politicians. He said I can't say female anymore.
I never said you couldn't.
You
say
did
it.
say that.
Well,
yesterday.
we should ask
Never
Yvonne.
said you
Yvonne will
couldn't
tell
say
us
it.
what you can say, what you can't say with that kind of stuff.
Frosty, or Judah did say that, Frosty.
But
He never
why don't you
said
let
couldn't
them?
say it?
He said it was not the preferred nomenclature,
Yeah.
right?
That
Well,
doesn't
we'll
mean
let
you-
them
that doesn't mean you can't use it.
determine. We'll let them determine how they wish to do that. But from a from a female's perspective, there you go. I'm doing it. Santa Claus said
Santa.
female. Santa said female. We'll let Yvonne correct Santa Claus.
Kevin Higgins, we love you. We appreciate you. We're so very, very, very grateful for your viewership and your support. Kevin Yancey says, being blessed and having the ability to affect someone less fortunate than us at Christmas is all. It's priceless.
It
well
is,
said,
without,
Kevin Yancey.
without a doubt. So along those lines, Santa Claus will say that if you have the ability to go out and help somebody, not just this time of the year, but do it all the time, right? You know, if you see somebody in need, reach out and give them a hand. It'll pay you back in multiple times over.
What is Santa and Mrs. Claus doing for the Christmas holiday?
Well, I'm working. I don't know about you.
He's working on Christmas.
I'm working. I'm out delivering stuff.
Oh, sorry. What is Santa's best buddy, Keith, and Keith's beautiful bride, Yona, doing?
Yeah, so what we're doing...
I stand corrected. I apologize.
What Keith and Yona are going to do is we have an open house on Christmas Eve, which we usually do, and we have all our family and our friends show up, and we have a lot of fun. And actually, this year's going to be a little bit different. Keith and Yona are going to go away on Christmas Day and kind of hang out for a couple of days on the 25th and the 26th in some secret spot somewhere. And come back on the 27th and get hard at it and start working. Like I said, we can't wait for 2024. 2024 is going to be a good year. I liked it.
I think it's fantastic.
That just totally popped into Santa's head on the way in. Can't wait for 2024.
Do you think it's going to be out of the gates a good year?
It's already out of the gates. It's a good
Explain
year.
why.
It's because inventory is picking up a little bit, not a lot, but it's picking up. The phone calls are picking up. The level of professionalism is picking up. You're going to see 2024 be a good year, and if every indication is out there with interest rates dropping down, it's just going to be a good year. It's also going to be a challenging year because you're going to have to know how to navigate that, right? And what's going to happen, we just highlighted this about the interest rate difference, right? At half a point or more, and you're going to have these tough conversations with clients.
And the unfortunate thing is the haves could potentially have more.
The people that are able to do it are going to do very well.
Yeah.
The people aren't, because a half a point
is monstrous.
Like on a $300,000 loan. I haven't done the amortization table on it, but quickly in the top of my head, it's about $500 a month.
Yeah.
Right, roughly. So a half a point, just because your credit score isn't up to a certain level and you're not able to put down 20%, you're paying an extra $500 a month. And why and how do most people buy a house?
On the monthly payment.
On a monthly basis.
I learned from Keith.
On a monthly basis.
I've learned quite a bit from Keith.
So thank you. So
I think Keith is a very intelligent, sharp-witted, distinguished, all-around A-plus guy. A gentleman I want to belly up to a bar with.
This guy? This guy?
Like, I knew you were going to do that. I knew after the sixth compliment that he was going to.
This guy?
I know you so well.
Yeah, this guy?
I know you so well.
I mean, shit.
I would say one of the two, Santa. I would say one of the top 10 people on this planet that knows you well.
Yeah, I mean, we're approaching our 5th year.
I was spending a lot of time together.
I know that. Oh, somebody shoot me. I mean,
Santa. Children are watching Santa.
Oh God.
Santa, what are you smoking? A pack of Marlboros?
No. Santa was hanging out with his grandkids for a couple of weeks and got a little bit of bronchitis from the grandkids. You love them to death, and you're going to hug and love them all the time. But sometimes your grandkids kind of little petri dishes, kind of give you a little.
I think
little
everyone
stuff.
knows. Parents of young children know that too well, including yours.
We're
Yancey
fast.
says the credit rating system is a joke. Kevin
That
Yancey,
I don't disagree with.
Kevin Yancey being a bit bearish there.
No, he's right.
If you just play within the rules of it, it's not a joke.
If you play within the rules of it, I know that, but they change the rules all the time on you from time to time. But look, so that's where the skill level of folks in the space, the real estate agents in the space, the loan officers in the space, have to have that conversation. Keith ended up doing. Lost my real talk. Ended up doing a interview with a national media firm, and we were talking about the challenges for interest rate conversation with buyers for 2024. And the thing is which most real estate agents are very uncomfortable with, is starting to say, if I'm going to try to help out Jerry and put him in the best position to move forward, I kind of need to know what's going on in Jerry's life.
Yeah.
Right? And some people don't like having this. Okay, we got to figure out what your credit score is. We're going to put you in front of a loan officer and all that kind of great stuff and let them figure it out. But a half a point delta or more is a huge spread. Huge spread. And it impacts big time what you can buy. And so everybody's going to be thinking, oh my God, these interest rates are dropping. They may be dropping, but maybe not for you. And that's the hard conversation.
There it is.
That's the hard conversation.
Travis Hackworth, tell Keith that the county BOS just approved and cleared the way for a 1,500 home subdivision just outside Danville by 9 miles near the 3,500 acre mega industrial park.
I still owe you a visit out. Santa still owes you a visit out there. It's just Santa's been a little busy, and but one of these days we're going to wander out there. They're doing everything right, in my opinion, or Santa's opinion, to make some magic happen out there. So hats off to the Dansville area.
There it is. Viewers and listeners, let us know your thoughts. We'll relay them on air on the Friday edition, right before Christmas, of Real Talk with Santa Claus.
But not trying to be the Debbie Downer, but just don't read the headlines. Oh my God, interest rates are dropping.
Yeah.
Reach out to a trusted advisor.
There it is.
It may not be for you.
Okay. Who are you and who are you referring to there?
Would be this guy Keith does a little real estate, believe it or not.
There you go. I mean, who are you referring to that interest rates may not be dropping for?
Your credit score is going to matter.
There you go.
The credit score, your credit score, the credit score is going to matter.
Yeah.
And the amount of money you put down is going to matter for the rate that you get. That's probably going to start balancing itself out.
Jonathan's watching the program, so basically what Keith's saying, if you got a 740 with 20%, you're in a good position.
You're in a good position to get something with a very low 6 in it, and I think as the first quarter cuts cranking on, that's going to have a 5 in front of it. But you got to be their type A buyer.
Yeah.
If you're not, it's going to be a half a point to 3/4 of a point difference.
There it is.
And that makes a huge difference in a $300,000 to $400,000 mortgage. Huge difference.
Kevin Yancey, exactly, Keith. 3 agencies, all with different rules or metrics.
Yeah. And it depends on which. It is not a uniform system, any way, shape, or form.
Do you think that 2024 is going to be akin to 2019?
I'll tell you, no, I think it's going to be closer to 16.
Explain why.
Are we talking volume?
Yep.
Well, but Keith and Jerry took a look at what the sales volume was of the city of Charlottesville, single-family detached, no new construction. Last year was what was like 2011. Just think about that. The sales volume of units in 2023 in the city of Charlottesville, single-family detached, no new construction, was about the same number of units as it was in 2011. I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but that's what it. I don't think it's going to be like 2018. I think 19. I think you're going to probably see, depending on the jurisdiction, anywhere between 2011, 2012, and 2016 and 2017 volume. Each jurisdiction is going to be a little bit different, right? Each region or each area is going to be a little bit different. Prices are not going down. Certain markets might get a little soft. Our friend Todd and the folks out in Nelson County might get a little soft on us. But volume's going to be low. It's just nothing to sell.
Yep.
Right?
There it is.
Nothing
there
to
it is.
buy.
Santa Claus, will you be... Santa Claus, what do you drink the eggnog, and do you enjoy the milk and cookies? That's a good one for you.
Oh. I'm not an eggnog fan, to be frank with you.
Why not the eggnog, Santa?
I don't know, because I can't get past the cookies and the milk.
Okay.
I love cookies. You got to laugh on that one. I love cookies and milk. I'm not a fan of eggnog, but there are a couple of sips here and there.
If folks want to reach out to your best friend Keith and Yona, how do they do it?
Oh, great. So, all you got to do is Google us. We're all over the place as far as cell phones and emails and websites and all that kind of great stuff. But just reach out to us. We'd love to help you move, buy or sell. 2020, again, I can't wait for 2024. This is when, as we've been saying for quite a while on the show, this is when the pros are going to show up. God, I'm gonna be coughing up
White fuzz?
synthetic, whatever this stuff is, for a week. The
Bourbon cream is way better than eggnog. Woody Fincham. Dan Pettit, some
agreed,
division on
100%.
53. Effort Church. Did they stop construction due to the water issue?
No.
They have not stopped construction.
No. Nope.
Still going.
Who's asked that question?
Daniel Pettit.
No. So there is no water issue out there. So I don't know what water issue we're referring to. That's the reason why there's a big blue tank there, because they have a big blue tank with a booster pump and all that stuff. No, construction hasn't stopped. Development is still the horizontal. Oh God, horizontal development is still going on. Hold on a second here. Okay. Horizontal development is still going on. They're probably going to start vertical, single-family attached and detached. You see the little devilish little smile you got.
You crack me up, Santa.
Because you know what's happening, right?
Oh, I do know what's happening. Your nose and beard or mustache are getting tickled by your beard.
Yep.
It's causing you to sneeze.
So my fake mustache and my real mustache are going up my nose. No, so look for units to be released in the first quarter of 2024.
This question, which part of the this is a good one right here. I appreciate the question from Thomas. Which part of the market do you think is going to be hot or soft?
Well, I think
How about price point?
I think Yvonne was trying to ask that same question.
Let's do it by price point locally.
I think it'll be easier to do it by region.
Okay.
Again, this whole pear-shaped thing around the city of Charlottesville, up into Crozet, Waynesboro, that kind of area is going to do well. I think some of the outside areas are going to be a little bit soft. And I think part of that is this, as long as this 0.5 point to 0.75 point split is there,
Yeah.
because the people that maybe are in that lower credit score range
That makes a huge difference.
will have to travel further out.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to travel further out. The areas that are a little bit more centralized, closer to where we're sitting at the moment, are gonna do better. Price points are going to be all over the map. I think you're going to start seeing the million and up come back into the market once interest rates drop a little bit more. I think you're going to see that pick up. You're going to see some cash start going away because as you get closer to 5, right, it's kind of on the edge, right? When it's at 8%, it was just too expensive money. When it was at 4%, it was free money, or 2%, it was free money. When we're starting somewhere in the middle, you're going to start seeing cash weave its way out of the market, I think, in it. So, every price range is going to be have a lot of pressure on it. The lower price range is probably going to be harder to move because more than likely the buyer who's doing that credit score isn't exactly perfect, and they're going to be a little bit higher in that 0.5 point to 0.75 point. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Is that why, follow up from me, we're seeing some of the lake properties a bit sticky?
Well, define sticky.
I mean, getting a little longer in the tooth.
Yeah, longer in the tooth, what, 2 weeks? That's not long on the tooth.
Some
when you
of
start getting 80 or 90 days.
I mean, some of them are 30 plus.
Yeah. I think it's that. I think what happens, I think a lot of what's going on is people are waiting for it to be lower instead of jumping in and making the move now. But, as Keith said, what is it? Location, price, features, condition, timing, and who's on the other side
Who's
matters.
on the other side matters.
And
he says the real mustache lives on for another year. Kevin.
Thank you. Thank you.
Santa, you are a joy to host the show with.
Thank you. Santa Claus apologizes for his raspy voice.
Santa Claus has been fantastic. He's done a phenomenal job carrying the show yet again on the day before, the show before Christmas.
Yeah, Santa Claus has got to get some rest because he's got a busy night tomorrow night. Hold it. No, the night after that.
All right. Busy night, you mean delivering the gifts?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. On the 24th.
I understand now.
Smith can't even figure. Oh, Santa
Say
can't.
no.
Today's the 22nd.
We have a few days, Santa.
So this is when the elf comes in and saves Santa.
Mary Giller's
and
here.
Wraps up.
That's what Mary Giller's doing. I want to say happy holidays to you.
Happy holidays to you.
You were fantastic.
Thank you.
This is a great show.
Thank you.
You were an excellent guy to host a show with, Santa.
Thank you.
Cannot wait for 2024.
Same
I think
here.
2024 is going to be a fantastic year for the Smiths and Yes Realty Partners.
We want a fantastic year for everybody.
I think it's going to be a fantastic year for everybody. Frosty, you're A-plus people as well. Your nose, your outfit, your beard, your scarf, on point. Thank you, Frosty,
you.
for keeping us on point. You're not going to melt anytime soon. You will be frosty
Even internally.
and congealed for
Not
months,
in here.
months to come.
Did you just say not in here?
I said not in here yet.
For Chris Kringle, Santa Claus, for Frosty, my name is Mary Giller. This is
Mary
Real Talk
Giller.
with Chris Kringle. Thank you kindly for joining us. The show archive wherever you get your podcast.
Thank you,
Merry
everybody.
Christmas. To all a good day. To all a good night. And hug your loved ones. Thank
Ho,
you
ho,
kindly
ho.
for joining us. Excellent.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody.